She ordered a hit on her own husband. Kill him. You know those mom influencers on YouTube? The ones with the perfect lives, the cute kids, the endless supply of organic snacks? Yeah, this isn't one of those stories. This is the one about the mom influencer who wanted to be famous so bad, she ordered a hit on her own husband. I'm serious, this is wild. Her name is Samantha, and when this whole nightmare starts, she's just 21 years old living in Texas. But Samantha has big dreams, way bigger than the small town life she's stuck in. She wants to be a Hollywood actress, a star, the kind of person everyone knows. Problem is, she's just a mom from Texas. How's she gonna make that happen? Then around 2010, a light bulb goes off. A little thing called YouTube is blowing up. People are becoming famous just by making videos in their bedrooms. Suddenly, Samantha sees her path to glory. She's like, "What's up, guys? Hey, y'all." And she starts making videos. A lot of videos. Mostly vlogs about her life as a mom, random product reviews, just trying to find her niche. But over time, her channel starts changing. It gets darker. Her videos become less about happy family moments and more about one thing: complaining. Specifically, complaining about her life, about being a mom. She'd say stuff like, "For starters, you do not have a life anymore after you have a baby. You become mom, you lose your identity." And honestly, you can almost feel for her, right? Like, a lot of moms feel that way sometimes. But Samantha took it to another level. She wasn't just venting, she was building a narrative, a drama, and she was the star. Now, not everyone was thrilled about Samantha's YouTube career, especially one guy, Ernie Ibarra. He was Samantha's longtime boyfriend and eventually her husband. And Ernie was the definition of a hard worker. This guy worked 2 jobs just to keep the family afloat. They had 5 kids. 5! You know that ain't cheap. Ernie wanted to be supportive of Samantha's dreams. He really did. But he started getting super frustrated because Samantha was spending more and more time on her YouTube channel and less time on the kids or on the house or on, life. You could see the tension even in her own videos. There's this one clip where she's trying to talk and Ernie is in the background, clearly annoyed. She's like, "Not gonna light a cigarette." And Ernie snaps back, "Oh yeah, I forgot about it, 'cause you got that fucking iPad in your hand." Boom, the real life drama, raw and uncut. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Sources say Ernie and Samantha were fighting constantly, like every day. And a few years later, in 2014, things took a really dark turn. Their fights started getting physical. We don't know all the messy details, but allegedly, Ernie physically attacked Samantha. She called the police. Ernie got arrested. He denied everything. Samantha got an emergency restraining order against him. It was a total chaotic mess. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. At some point during all this absolute dumpster fire of a relationship, Ernie and Samantha got married. I know, who marries someone they just got a restraining order against? This relationship was basically a reality show waiting to happen, except for the, murder part. But even after they tied the knot, Samantha was still miserable. She was still obsessed with her YouTube channel, still dreaming of fame, and still angry that Ernie wasn't cheering her on. For her, this had gone on way too long. She needed a solution, a permanent solution, and she was about to find it. This story goes completely off the rails on Valentine's Day, 2015. Samantha's at a hospital. She's visiting a friend who just had a baby. Sweet, right? Wrong. While she's there, she meets her friend's boyfriend, this guy named Johnathan. And Johnathan? He's not exactly Prince Charming. In fact, he had just been released from prison. And why was he in prison? Because he had sexually assaulted his own cousin. Yeah, so this is the kind of guy Samantha Wholford is making friends with. And what does Samantha do? She starts spilling all her tea. She tells Johnathan all about Ernie, all the alleged abuse, all the fighting, all her YouTube dreams that Ernie was holding her back from. And Johnathan, being the gentleman that he is, gets really upset. He says, "I'll deal with Ernie for you." And this is where the plan starts. And trust me, it's a plan only masterminds could come up with. Or, people who are about to make some really bad decisions. Johnathan's brilliant idea number one: let's get Ernie locked up. He's gonna plant some meth in Ernie's truck. Then they'll call the police. Cops show up, find the meth, and boom, Ernie's off to jail. Simple, clean, effective. Or so they thought. So, Johnathan, Samantha, and one of his buddies, Octavious Rhymes, decide it's time to buy the meth. But there's a small problem. Samantha can't find a babysitter for her 5 kids. And what does a dedicated mom influencer do? She brings all 5 kids with them. That's right, all 8 of them, Samantha, the 3 guys, and the 5 kids, go to buy meth. This is not a joke, this actually happened. So, they get the meth, they have the key ingredient for their brilliant idea, but then they have another brilliant idea. They look at the meth, and they look at each other, and they're like, you know what? Why are we gonna waste this stuff on Ernie? Why don't we just smoke it ourselves? And so they do. The meth is gone. The plant drugs on Ernie plan is officially a bust. Now they need a new plan. And the new plan is even dumber. They decide to kidnap Ernie. Yeah, just kidnap him. To scare him. Or something. The motives are a little murky after the meth wears off, I guess. But before the kidnapping, Johnathan and his buddies, Octavious and Jose Ponce, make a quick stop. They hit up a Walmart. And what do they get? 3 pairs of black gloves. Shoplifted, of course. Because you can't kidnap someone without fresh, stolen Walmart gloves, right? It's just not professional. So, Samantha goes home, she puts her 5 kids to bed. Ernie is there, and she goes to bed too. But she leaves the front door unlocked. She's waiting. She's basically rolling out the red carpet for the guys who are about to kidnap her husband. Later that night, Johnathan, Jose, and Octavius arrive, probably still buzzing from that meth, and definitely wearing their new gloves. They quietly slip through the front door, creep upstairs, and then it's chaos. They pull Ernie and Samantha out of bed, they tie Samantha up, not very tightly by the way, just enough to make it real. Then they beat Ernie. They beat him badly, pistol whipping him, hitting him over and over. They force him into their car and speed away. Now, Samantha is allegedly tied up, but somehow she's able to get to her phone. And eventually the police show up. Lights, sirens, the whole thing. And Samantha, the aspiring actress, gives them the performance of a lifetime. A quick audio clip of a frantic female voice, maybe a reenactment of a 911 call snippet. Samantha: "I don't honestly know what happened. I was in bed asleep and we heard a noise, and the second I was able to open my eyes, somebody grabbed me and jerked me out of the bed and slammed me down on the ground and started tying me up." She tells them she has no idea who kidnapped Ernie. She describes masked men, black shirts, black pants, all very mysterious. Meanwhile, Johnathan and the goons still have Ernie. They drive him out to the woods, a remote, dark place. By this point, Ernie is barely conscious. He's been beaten severely. They make him walk for a bit, and as he stumbles, trying to get to his feet, blam! One of the goons, Jose Ponce, shoots Ernie in the back of the head. Ernie Ibarra, the hardworking dad of 5 kids, is dead. The men hide his body in the woods. They burn their clothes and they leave. Back at Samantha's house, she's still talking to the police, still putting on her Oscar-worthy performance. At one point, she asks for permission to call her mom. She excuses herself, and instead of calling her mom, she secretly texts Octavious Rhymes. The texts are chilling. They are the ultimate betrayal. She tells him to kill Ernie's phone, shut that stud down. And then a few minutes later, another text, ditch phone, move. She wanted to make sure there was no way to track Ernie, no way to link him to the killers. She was playing the grieving wife for the cops while secretly directing the cleanup crew. But the police, they're not buying it, not in a second. They're super skeptical of Samantha's story. Everything just feels off. So they bring her down to the station, they question her again, And again, she spins her fake story about masked men and how she has no idea what happened. She even tries to blame it on Ernie's dad, saying he's a shady guy and maybe this has something to do with him. It's all lies, every single word. But as the questioning goes on, Samantha's story starts to crumble. It gets more and more flimsy. The cops keep pushing and eventually she starts to crack. She starts to flip on Johnathan. She tells the police, maybe it was my friend's boyfriend who did it. And she claims she was scared. She tells them Johnathan would unlive her if she said anything. Finally, the police have enough. Bam! They find Johnathan. They arrest him. Bam! They arrest Jose Ponce, one of the goons. And once Johnathan is in custody, he spills everything. He tells the police how he met Samantha in the hospital, how she told him she wanted Ernie gone. He tells them about...
They find Johnathan. They arrest him. Bam! They arrest Jose Ponce, one of the goons. And once Johnathan is in custody, he spills everything. He tells the police how he met Samantha in the hospital, how she told him she wanted Ernie gone. He tells them about the meth plan, about the kidnapping, about Ernie's murder, and he even takes the police to the exact spot in the woods where they left Ernie's body. Right to the body. The game is over. Bam! Police arrest Samantha Wohlford. Bam! They arrest the last goon, Octavious Rhymes. All 4 of them, caught. They're all found guilty or they plead guilty for their roles in this insane scheme. And the sentences are jaw-dropping. Johnathan Sanford gets 50 years in prison. Jose Ponce also gets 50 years in prison. Octavious Rhymes, he was the one who didn't take a plea deal, probably thought he could beat it. He gets a massive 93 years in prison. And Samantha Wohlford, the YouTube mom who just wanted to be famous, she gets a total of 149 years in prison. 149 years. Think about that. She's basically never getting out, not in this lifetime. And get this, to this very day, her YouTube channel is still online. All those vlogs, all those complaints, all those dreams of fame, they're still there. A digital ghost of a life that went horribly, tragically wrong. This wasn't just a simple crime. This was a performance, a carefully constructed narrative by a woman who saw her life as content, a woman who was so desperate for fame, so obsessed with her image, that she orchestrated the murder of her own husband, all because he wasn't supporting her YouTube dreams. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the most dangerous people aren't the ones you see in the dark alleys. Sometimes they're the ones smiling into a camera, complaining about their life and building a following, while planning murder. This story should make you question everything you see online, because behind every seemingly normal profile, behind every perfect smile, there could be a secret so dark, so twisted, it'll make your stomach turn. And that's the real story of Samantha Wohlford, the YouTuber who got life in prison. So next time you're scrolling, remember this one. And maybe, just maybe, appreciate the quiet, unviral life. Because sometimes going viral comes with a price no one should ever pay.